All right, guys, it's good to see you again. It's always great to see you. Thank you so much for sharing these videos, liking, commenting, telling a friend who's told a friend about it. And yes, I'm prophesying to those of you who haven't done any of these things. So you begin to do that today. I hope you have found these videos helpful, inspiring, adding to the knowledge that you already have, and be able to make better decisions. Because like I always like to tell you, I'm here to help you make better relationship decisions. I want to help you simplify relationships. They don't have to be complicated. They don't have to be confusing. They don't have to be mesmerizing. I'm here for you. I'm your girl. I'm your plug. Not that kind of girl, though. My husband is around somewhere. But I'm your plug, right? So, I like to keep it short, sharp, sweet. We're going to dive right into it again today. But as usual, follow me on all social media platforms. You can easily reach me on Instagram at Tojolowa Toyimbo Global. Hit the link in my bio. Book a session with me and let's talk better. All right, so today we are talking about a question someone asked me maybe about a year or maybe even a year or two ago. And as basic as the question is, I found it very interesting and intriguing. And the person's question was, how do I live with one person for the rest of my life? You guys say marriage is sweet, marriage is good. If you're a person of faith, it's better to have children when you're married, do it the right way, don't just cohabit and all of that. Okay, fine, I want to marry, but question, how do I live enjoyably with the same person for the rest of my life? And people simplify that question with things like, I cannot just eat rice every day, cannot be eating beans every day, right? We cannot be going to the same restaurant every day. We don't want to be in the same Nigeria every day, right? So I'm hoping that with a few points, I can help guide you to answering that question, can I live with one person for the rest of my life? So even with some of those things I've mentioned, the truth about, and I know it's not the same thing, human beings and a marriage are not food. But if you think about rice, we don't just eat rice and stew all the time. It can be jollof rice. Now, nobody should get me wrong. Let me land first. It can be jollof rice. It can be coconut rice. It can be fried rice. It can be concoction rice. It can be rice and beans. It can be different things. Now, I'm not saying go and have different types of husbands. I'm saying that you can bring flavor into the marriage. So it's the same man and it's the same woman, but they are evolving, they are learning, they are coming into new capacities. Dreams are evolving, right? There are things you can do to bring excitement into the marriage. All right, so just the same way you enjoy rice in different ways with rice and stew, you blend it up, you have, not blend rice, so don't blend your rice. Well, some people do that. That's what we call pounded rice, mashed rice. What's that thing called? Ground rice. There you go. Right, with veggies and different things. So in your relationship, in your marriage more so, you will need to learn to spice things up. As individuals, you're still evolving. There are dreams that have been incubating in you that will be birthed. There are things to take care of, right? You can travel, go on vacation, sightsee. You will have children. That brings in another layer of responsibilities and things to look forward to. School runs, PTA meetings, ballet concerts, Christmas rehearsals, and all of that. You just need to find ways to spice it up. Relearn about yourselves, love yourselves again, right? So like I was saying, this is not the main core of the video, but I just thought to throw that in. However, there are 3 main points I want to share that might help you deal with the concept of living with one person for the rest of your life, right? So like even with the rice, like with your body, you're with yourself for the rest of your life. Do you throw yourself away? Do you check yourself into rehab? Do you want to, I don't know, you're with yourself. So you find ways to deal with yourself better, right? Somebody like, even myself, I'm still struggling to live with myself. Talk less of living with someone else, but you're still here. You haven't done anything with yourself. You're still here, right? So 3 things to help you with living with one person for the rest of your life. Number 1 is you need to understand the purpose of marriage. You must understand the purpose of marriage. And for me, as a person of faith, there's a God purpose, there's a God agenda. For me, the end game of my marriage is not me. So I say all the time, My marriage is not just to make me happy. Yes, I like nice rings, but it's not just about the rings. It's not about the ashrabi. It's not about getting on, cool social media platforms and having your wedding photos spread all around. It's not about your husband and your wife worshiping the floor on which you walk on and, you have a default ATM machine in your house. It's not just about sex. It's not just about children. It's not just about carrying on the family name. It's not just about it being the next thing to do when you finish uni, go through NYSC in Nigeria, get a job, and then you get married. It's more than that. There is a core reason God designed marriage. There is an end game in his mind. And that's what I'm after in my marriage. And this is also why I tell people that by God's grace, not just by my effort, my marriage has to work. Not just because of me, but because I know God is, when I say counting on me, it sounds funny, like God needs me. But in a sense, he does, because I'm his extension on earth. So there are certain things I need to do, certain things I need to be, certain things I need to become, so that people can look at my marriage and be like, wow, if you can have this, then I think I want this too. And then that leads them to God, because I'm going to tell them, this is the secret though, is God, is how he directs me, gives me wisdom, gives me grace, right? Keeps us happy. Like I tell people, the Trinity has not divorced. God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. They've not divorced. They found a way to make it work. So there must be something that I can do to make my marriage work. And this is not in any way to say people who have divorced or gone their separate ways did not have legitimate reasons or there wasn't a background to it. I'm not here to disparage that or dissect that, right? But for me and for other people who want to be very intentional about building a good marriage, as God would help us, I need to understand the purpose. So I'm working towards that purpose. And the good thing about it is, while I'm working towards that purpose, God is working to ensure that I'm happy in my marriage. As my husband is working towards it, God is giving him the grace to ensure that I'm happy. So I'm serving God, he's serving me, and everybody is happy. So I understand the purpose. So I'm not just about traveling and looking good and looking nice. There's something to work on. There's work to be done. My husband and I are in ministry. We are teachers. There's a lot of work to do. So even sometimes where we want to travel and, spice up the marriage, we can't even travel at a particular time. We have to defer it to another time because there's work. So it's very difficult for us to get bored because there's always work to do, people to teach, souls to save, prayer points to raise, a church to plant, a message to preach, people to counsel. There's always something happening. So understanding the purpose of marriage is number one, critical. Number two, you also need to learn your own purpose. A lot of people come into marriage and they do not know what they're about. And they think that the marriage is the purpose. And so they're doing everything to be the wife material, to be the husband material. They are washing plates, paying school fees. And so, how would I put it? The marriage is just about the marriage, sustaining the marriage, doing the daily routines of the marriage. And so mommy comes home, the junior school fees is due. Daddy comes home, diesel is too expensive now. Put off that light, put off that AC. They are just sustaining the marriage, right? But you also need to discover your own purpose. And that brings another layer of spice into the marriage. When you know what you're about, apart from the daily chores and the routines, there's something to drive you. And because your spouse is there as your best friend, your helper, your cheerleader, your support, he or she is also involved. So you're deliberating, you're coming up with plans, you're coming up with partners, you're coming up with platforms, you're coming up with ideas and solutions. So there's something that you're working towards. Imagine some people say they've been in a company for 30 years. And these are people that are even ambitious. What are they doing? There's work on ground to be done. And I know this question about living one person for the rest of my life comes with people who get bored easily, who are very spontaneous, right? So these points I'm listing will help you to contain your spontaneity. And when I say contain, I don't mean cage, but help you put things in context, help you to prioritize, and help you to stay focused, right? So learn your own purpose. And then finally, for time's sake in this video, is you need to train your appetite. You really need to train your appetite. A lot of people have also, well, unfortunately in my books, been in several relationships that they more likely than not did not need to be in. Some people have slept with different people, and so they've, aroused in themselves an appetite to sleep with this person, to do it this style, to do it that way. Folake was like this, but we need Amaka to be like that. This person has bustle, this person does not have back. This person has money, this person does not have money, but he has charm. This one has charm, but he does not have money. This one lives in Banana, this one lives in Nigeria. So you have a mix of different things that you like in different people, and you're trying to look for them in different people. You're going to get yourself confused. You're going to get yourself in a mess. So you might not get 100% of everything you want in one person, but you can get good enough. You can get 70% plus. But you also need to train your appetite to know the 80-20 rule, to know that my spouse is 80% of what I want. So this comes to understanding the purpose of marriage and your own purpose. When you understand the purpose of marriage and your own purpose, you know the kind of person that can work with you and work for you. And this includes your personality type and the things that you like. And so you stick to that as a mature person. And then when you see the 20% out there, whatever the 20% is, somebody has more money, somebody is finer, somebody is bustier, somebody is freer, you know, somebody is more spontaneous, you know that, this is just 20%. I actually have 80% at home. And so you are able to train your appetite to say, yes, I might not have beans at home, but can I do moi moi? It's still beans. I don't have moi moi, but can I do akara? Can I add akara to this condiment that I already have set? And you're well fed and you are well nourished and you are staying focused, right? So for the sake of this video, to answer the question, can I live with one person for the rest of my life? The truth is that you can. You need to train your appetite, understand the purpose of marriage and your own purpose. So when you stay focused on the work at hand, you know, also bringing variety and spice into your marriage with your spouse, trust me, you can do it. All right, guys, so I'll see you in another video. Remember to connect with me on all other platforms. Enjoy the rest of your day.